Hello and welcome to the Nerd Age Podcast. This is a show where we talk about everything nerdy. I'm your host, Jonah, and today I'm joined by Josh.
What's up?
And Crystal.
Hello.
Mick and Corey under the weather.
Bug got
Hopefully they're still alive. But we're going to go through the show. We've got some, obviously, what we're doing now, trailer talk.
Trailers. It's time for a trailer talk.
We got two trailers that we're going to basically decide if it's a blast, it's a lot of fun to go watch, or trash, which I don't get. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's
right?
a blast.
I don't know why people are so confused by this.
That's what I thought. I was like, wow, that looks like a blast. That looks like a lot of fun at the movies.
I mean, that's why it says, wow, what a blast.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one we're going to kind of jump right into is Masters of the Air. We got our second trailer already, which it seems like we've been waiting forever to get a look at it, and then we got two trailers kind of back to back. This trailer was awesome. I really liked the first one, but this trailer really made me feel more, got me excited for it. Visually looks awesome. The acting and the actors look great. The music was cool. I just can't wait for this. I think this is going to be awesome. It's a blast for me. Of course it is. I can't wait to see this, and I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna not go to you, Josh.
Good.
I'm going to go to Crystal. Crystal, what did you think of Masters of the Year?
I'm going to admit that I was a little distracted when I watched the trailer.
Wow.
But I liked Band of Brothers. Well, Josh asked me to watch it like 5 minutes before you got here because he was like, "You're gonna be on."
That's
so,
right.
So I was a little distracted, but I liked Band of Brothers a lot, and Newt's brother is in it, so that's a plus. The guy from Elvis is in it, so that's a plus.
There you go.
And yeah, I thought it looked interesting, so I'm sure I'll like it. So blast.
Yeah. Okay,
It's a
yeah,
blast.
there we go.
It's a blast for you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I liked Band of Brothers, so
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be good.
And this does seem like it's a return to form. I know there's a lot of Pacific fans out there.
I've never met one.
I'm not a big fan of the Pacific. I think Band of Brothers is so much better. So this feels more like Band of Brothers to me, so I'm excited for that. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm excited for it. It was on my top 10 list for this year, and it got moved to end of January, so it'll be on my top 10 for next year. But yeah, it looks really good. I love it. Anytime they show shots where there's like all the aircraft in the air, it's like it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, just getting ready for D-Day and stuff like that. It's just it's pretty cool. Visually, it looks good, and all the actors are good. I mean, Barry, what's his name? Barry Keoghan. Is in it too. Yeah. And so yeah, it looks really good. I hope, like you were saying, I hope it's more Band of Brothers, less the Pacific. Yeah. I think what I don't like about the Pacific is that they split up too much.
Yeah.
And there wasn't that kind of like continuity with characters. So I hope we get a little bit more of that. But yeah, I'm interested to see the different relationships. And yeah, I'm just excited. So it's a blast for me.
Yeah. Is Hans Zimmer doing the intro music again? Because he did the Pacific.
He did do the Pacific.
So I'm like, did he do Band of Brothers?
No, he didn't do Band of Brothers.
So I'm like, come on. I'll say the one thing about the Pacific is the intro is one of the greatest intros ever
made.
Ever.
Wow.
It is. It literally is.
It is really cool.
People talk about Game of Thrones. I think the Pacific is better than Game of Thrones. Just the music, the art of it. It's one of those that you just have to watch. Every once in a while, just be like, I'm going to watch the intro to the Pacific. It's just so good.
I don't think I've seen the Pacific.
No, you wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it. We didn't watch the Pacific, no. But
Oh, what a blast.
That's what we decided. It's a blast. And we're excited for it. I hope you're excited for it too. The next one we're going to do, the other trailer, Dune Part 2. We got a trailer. Josh, I'm going to let you start with this one because you're the big Dune guy. And then we'll get to my assertion of this later. But go ahead.
They call me the Dune Meister.
Yeah, that's right. The Dunester.
I was hesitant to watch it because we're getting to the point where I'm like, it comes out in March. I don't want to see any more trailers, but I bit the bullet for you guys. All right. I like this trailer better than the previous one. I feel like they still showed a lot, but it was a variety of different shots. I thought, kind of giving you a little bit more of the, I guess, of kind of what's going on with Paul. And I like the scenes of Fade Routha, Austin Butler.
Also in Masters of the Air. Elvis has taken over the building.
I hope he talks just like Elvis in it too. Him and I Got a Fever.
That's right. More cowbell, baby.
For me, I'm excited for this. There's one shot in the trailer that I was like, that looks really cool, and it's where you can see the sand, and then the sandworm comes out through it. I was like, it got me hyped. So
money shot. Money shot.
It was pretty good. It's a blast for me, dog.
All right, Crystal, what do you think?
Definitely a blast.
Right off the bat.
I really loved the first Dune book. I haven't read the other ones, but I really liked the first one, and I feel like the first movie was pretty faithful to the book, and I really loved Timothée Chalamet.
Oh my God.
So that's great. But yeah, I thought it looked really good. I was interested in, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't read the book, but there's a character in the book who I haven't seen in any of the trailers. We're talking about it. Yeah, I kind of think maybe they're not going to put her in because it would just be too...
It's a little weird.
It's, kind of weird. So I was actually a little disappointed thinking that she might not be in there. She could. They might not be.
Saying it's trash.
No. It just was
it's
noticeable.
Something that's hard to adapt from book to film.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see if they put her in or not. But yeah, I thought it looked really good. So I'm excited.
Blasting off, baby. Let's go.
Nice. Well, that's according to Corey's rules, it's going to be a blast. But I mean, guys, I don't know. There's a lot of sand. As Anakin Skywalker would say, I hate sand. Of course, it gets everywhere. It feels like the sand is everywhere in this movie. No,
it's a sand planet.
The trailer was really cool. The visuals again look awesome. Denis Villeneuve, all his movies look really good. It has a great cast, except for Timothée Chalamet, which I feel like he needs to go to acting school to change his face.
Oh my gosh.
Whether he's happy or sad or excited or whatever the case may be, he has the same Kristen Stewart face.
No.
And so the music of this trailer was awesome. I have a feeling that's Hans Zimmer actual score from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because the music was incredible. So I'm excited for that. This looks like a blast to me. I like the first one. I do feel there was parts that were just boring, and I'm not a hater on it. It's just like, yeah, it was good, but it's still not a movie that I'll rewatch. And I think this one might be a little more, since the story is now advancing a little more. There might be more intrigue into it than. So yeah, I think it's a blast as well.
Oh, what a blast!
We got 2 blasts in our trailers. I'm sure there were more trailers, but we didn't want to cover Kung Fu Panda 4 or 5.
Well, you especially don't because your favorite person's in it.
Okay, we talked about this with Godzilla -1.
Guess who?
Oh, I love Aquafina.
No.
Yes.
We talked about this.
She's eating good.
But I love her. She's awesome.
No, she's not.
She is. She's funny. I really like her.
No, she's just so bad. And this is what happens. Like, we watched Godzilla -1 and we talked about like, oh, it was nice to see like Asian actors that aren't like your Hollywood Asian actors. And we mentioned like anytime there's a movie that has an Asian in it, it's like, oh, get Aquafina or get, what's the Nolan guy that's all in all the Nolan movies?
I can't remember what his name is. Watanabe?
Yeah. So anyways, what a bummer that Aquafina is getting more roles. She doesn't deserve them.
Well, I was not interested in that Kung Fu Panda movie before.
No, but now
I think I'm going to have to go watch all of them.
What a blast.
To watch that one.
We're going to move on to some news. We're just going to do some random stuff. Let's start with the Game Awards. We can just jump right into that. Those happened on, what day was that? Thursday. Josh, why don't you give us a rundown of kind of what happened at the Game Awards? Any cool announcements? I know Corey's not here to talk about it, which is a little bit of a bummer, but we'll forge ahead.
So as far as game announcements go, for me personally, I don't think there was anything that kind of blew me away. A lot of the stuff that we saw was kind of just updated trailers for things we've already seen. So for example, one of the big ones was God of War.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they
DLC, right?
Yeah, it's a free DLC. It dropped yesterday. I actually just downloaded it today. And
Glitches, unfortunately.
It's a little glitchy, so
People are going to be upset.
yeah.
I mean, all the, what is it? The Call of Duty.
all the Call of Duty developers are upset.
That we got to talk about that for a sec because
Yeah, we can start there. It was the first award.
it was the
first big award.
What's the guy's name? The God of War voice actor.
Judge. I can't
Christopher
remember.
Judge.
Yeah.
He made a joke because last year his acceptance speech was went on for 10 minutes or something. It was insane, and he was rambling. So he made the joke about that his speech was going to be shorter than the Call of Duty story campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a joke. And so many developers or people that worked on the games were posting stuff and being well, Call of Duty has made more money than God of War will ever. And I'm okay, first of all, God of War is a PlayStation exclusive, right? Versus a game that you're basically paying to play.
It's like
also
a
a
new
good
one
game.
almost every year.
It's
Yes.
not just a copy and paste every year.
Exactly. It's not a Madden
crank
game.
it out, baby.
And so it's just the fact that people were so upset about it was just you guys are the worst.
Well,
Have a little humor about it.
Yeah, I even saw people that were considering what we've all been through as developers in the past year.
Oh my God.
That's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It just seems in bad taste. I'm it's a joke. Calm down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've played a lot of Call of Duty games and owned a lot, and I don't think I've ever played the campaign in any of them.
Even the actor that does the voice actor for one of the the guy with the mutton chops or whatever, he came out and said something. I'm guys, seriously,
Yeah.
it's a joke.
Yeah.
and no one
And
buys
he was
those games
also
for the
making
campaign.
fun of himself. He joked about himself and how how dumb his speech was last. It's just it's ridiculous.
It's Why don't you calm down? Take yourself a little less seriously. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, so that dropped. It's a new. It's basically continues the story after the game ends. So I'm interested to see kind of where it goes. I think there's supposed to be a tease at the end too of what the next game might be. They announced a Marvel Blade game. There was just a trailer for that. It's the guys that did Deathloop, which was a game that came out a year or two ago. But yeah, I mean, if you're excited for it takes place in Paris. All we got was really a trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. Outside of that, was there anything
What? There were multiple games.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about important things. No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
The developer is coming out with a new game called, what is it called?
Light No Fire. Very excited.
No Man's Sky, Light No Fire. Does person not know how to speak English?
No, he doesn't. So do you know much about No Man's Sky?
Nope.
Okay, so No Man's Sky.
I know you can't light no fire.
Is
on
it
it
10 years now?
I think so, yeah.
So he came out and announced the game at probably one of the first Game Awards, and he was like, we're making a massive space exploration game. All these planets are randomly generated, basically infinitely. So you're never going to, it's multiplayer, and you're probably never going to find somebody because the world is so massive. Well, the game
Everyone
launched,
found themselves.
and two dudes found each other immediately. And they were like,
We can't see
we
each
can't
other.
see each other. And so it turned out, well, no, it wasn't a multiplayer game. They would exist in the same area, but you couldn't see them. And so it was a huge backlash. People
they lied.
People
Well,
were like, false advertising.
I think the intent was for it to be in the game, but they didn't think that people would actually get to
He
that
was
point
like,
quickly.
holy crap, I can't believe they found each other so quickly. And so
That has since been added.
people crapped on it, and he's been making updates
For 10 years.
For 10
Free
years.
updates.
And so it's like consistently free updates. So it went from being like a super hated game to a lot of people really like it because he's made a bunch of improvements, added different expansions, actual multiplayer. You can see other people. But so he came out to, at the Game Awards and announced his new game. And basically his pitch was, what would it be like to live in a world where you can go wherever you see? So if you see a mountain, like you're going to go straight to the top of the mountain, like in real life, like you want to feel the sense of scale. And it looks like it's more fantasy based.
There were dragons.
Yeah.
And
So we'll see what happens.
it looked like it,
It
from
looks
the
like it is
trailer.
multiplayer.
Yeah, but real multiplayer.
We'll see. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. But that'll be an interesting game to see the development just because of the history of No Man's Sky, and kind of see like his whole thing is he wants to like, what's the next 10 years of gaming? What does it look like? So that was one of the more exciting ones. Anything else you saw?
I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
So next Monster Hunter game. Excited about that. They had flying mounts in that one.
Yeah. No, yeah.
For me, I was excited.
Oh.
I thought they showed another trailer for Banishers, which
That one looks cool.
That game looks super interesting. A little creepy, but interesting. With the guy whose wife is like a ghost. Did you not watch it?
I don't think I did.
They showed the trailer at Gamescom.
Sound familiar?
He's like sitting at the table last Game Awards
Yeah.
with his wife, and you realize she's a ghost.
Mm.
And he like has to go through and like banish ghosts.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
It looked
Yeah,
really
we talked about it.
interesting.
We talked about it last time. Another one that looks good is Rise of the Ronin.
That's what I was going to say.
So it's a PlayStation exclusive. It takes place kind of between. It's like almost like, think of it. You know how Red Dead's like
Yeah.
how the Old West is ending. Well, this is kind of like how the feudal Japan is ending. So you've got guns and stuff, but it's there's more gameplay in it. So that comes out I think in March. That one looks pretty good.
I was a little intrigued by the first Descendants, but I would need to see more. It was a space one.
Nah, it's gonna be bad.
You don't know. I want to see more. They didn't show very much, so
Blast
I
or
like
trash?
space. We'll see.
I like titles.
Yeah, I mean, with there's so many trailers that it's like, honestly, probably more than half of the games are not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually that's just how games are.
Like that one fantasy one with the girl. I thought that looked really cool and it ended up being
Forspoken?
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was bad. Another one that looked cool, No Rest for the Wicked. Looked kind of cool. It almost had kind of like Diablo vibes, but it's the developer Moon Studios who did Ori. And,
Oh, yeah. That one did look cool.
Yeah, so it looks like a Diablo type of...
Did we not get a Star Wars Eclipse trailer? Whatever happened to that?
That game's gone, bro.
Is it?
Canceled.
Gosh.
I
Was
mean, I'm
there-
still working on it, but there's the behind the scenes
Yeah, we'll
drama.
I don't think there were any Star Wars.
Nope, nothing Star Wars.
There's
Yeah,
Final Fantasy, which I don't care about
yeah,
personally.
the Final Fantasy Rebirth trailer, and they performed a song from it, which is like not really up my alley.
I honestly don't understand why those games are so popular. But
Yeah, not really sure. There was, obviously nothing Nintendo.
there was that creepy game,
yes.
which I will not be playing.
That's what I was going to mention. So Hideo Kojima.
The Space Mailman too.
Exactly. So he released a trailer, and it was basically just it's the girl from Dungeons and Dragons, and then I can't remember who the two other actors are. But they just
It was very unsettling.
yeah, it's basically just their faces, and they're like repeating like some weird like the purple dinosaur likes to eat green thing, and then they just keep repeating it, and they like slowly start like freaking out more and more, like they're crying.
It's super creepy.
Super creepy. And then he came out and he was basically like, this is my next game. He's working on it with Jordan Peele.
Okay, Get Out.
Yeah, so he came out and he was like, we're collaborating on this. It's like what did he say? He was like, this is like beyond what video games are. It's like an experience.
So the villains are going to be white people.
Yep, potentially. So that'll be interesting.
Spoiler alert.
Did you ever play that demo that they released on the PlayStation? I think it was called PT.
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you remember me playing that?
Is that the
No.
horror game?
Maybe
or-
I blocked it out of my mind.
It was a demo that he released, and it was just called PT, and it was a PlayStation exclusive, and it was just a loop in a hallway. And so you would walk through, and there was like a radio playing, and it was like a father murdered his family, and it's like as you go through the loop, more and more creepy things start happening. But it kind of reminded me of like, I got kind of that vibe from it. It ended up actually that demo was a test for Silent Hill remake that he was going to do, and then it got canceled, and he pulled it from PlayStation. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with this, because it seems like it's almost more of like more than a game. It's almost like going to be messing with more like almost like a different type of entertainment, I guess.
Yeah.
Like kind of dipping into more movie type stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. He's a weird dude.
Yeah.
But he makes interesting games. So, yeah. I mean, that's
And then Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year, right?
right. But so Baldur's Gate won a bunch of awards. That's kind of what I thought was going to win.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom won Best Action Adventure
yeah.
Game.
Mario won Best Family Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario Wonder.
And Starfield did not win anything. Neither did
Nope.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man was nominated for 7 awards, I think, and it didn't win
Alan
anything.
Wake won a few.
And that's Mick's fault.
Yeah.
Because Mick never reviewed the game.
Right. If we would
If
have
people would have known, then
they
people would have voted.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Mick, it's on you, buddy. Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. I know people were complaining that they were like, this is basically just like a trailer show now. There's like not taking enough time for people to give their speeches, which their speeches were a little rushed.
I do think it's kind of rude how they like interrupt them.
It is really fast.
No one wants to hear speeches, though.
Yeah, but like these people, it matters to them. Like they've won an award that they may never win again. And for them, that's like a game they've worked on for maybe years.
Yeah, but
I mean, give them 5 minutes. Like
here's what I'll say. It's the same reason people stopped watching the Oscars. And if you start
this
doing
is
that,
better than the Oscars.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's better than the Oscars because you're not spending 5 minutes on a speech. People don't care about them being like, I want to thank my wife and I want to thank Margaret Thatcher from accounting. This is for you. Terry McGillis. They mention all these people that you have no idea who they are. And they just go
Not
through.
for you.
Yeah, it's not for
not for
us.
you.
Well, but it is, because the whole thing is they're trying to make a show. The reason people don't want to watch the Oscars is why? Because there's no really entertainment value to it. It's speeches, and they end up being really political about it.
Well, yeah, and then dumb things
So,
win.
the
But I
whole
feel like
thing
the
about
winners
the
were pretty
game-
fair.
The whole thing about the Game Awards is people want to go to or want to watch because it's like, what are they going to announce? What's kind of the thing they're going to do? Like, it's an entertainment aspect of it. I'm fine with not having to
But
sit
did you
through
watch
people.
the Game Awards?
I'm not. I watched some pieces of it, but
Well,
I was
I
out.
watched all of it.
I was out Christmas tree shopping.
I watched all of it, and I wished that it had been longer so
here's the
people could have
But
talked
the problem
more.
is, if you end up doing that, it's gonna go the way of the Oscars, and people are gonna be like,
No,
I don't
it's
want to
not.
watch this.
I
It's
don't
on
think
YouTube.
so.
It's not on.
I'm saying,
it's not,
guys.
It's not broadcast on TV where it's
I
like,
disagree.
yeah. I
But
think it's
here's
on,
the thing. Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. How many guys do you see that are streaming it on Twitch? And then you watch clips of them where they're saying like, "Oh, let me react to the speech that the guy from Ubisoft did." No, they do it. They react to trailers. That's what gets views. That's what people want to watch. A reaction to an announcement is what gets the clicks. You're never going to go out and see like someone do a reaction to what some random guy that made.
but that's the
I think you're just pointing out how selfish
right.
people
no,
are.
This is
that's
the point.
not-
Yes.
The point of the thing is it's an award show. So you're recognizing the people that worked on this game.
Right. But you don't need to wait and let them do a whole speech about someone you don't even care
they
about.
give them
It's
like
2 minutes. It's two more minutes.
barely give them any time.
No one wants that. It's not entertainment. It's not valuable. No one cares.
I do. I'm sitting here telling you I care.
Unless someone's going up and slapping them for keep my wife's name out your mouth. That's entertainment, guys.
The point is, he's obviously worked out. You're right. Oscars are, no one wants to see people like, oh, congratulate me or whatever. So he's worked in, we're going to do game announcements. But the whole point of it is that you're recognizing people in the industry that have spent 6 years of their life to work on a game.
And they get their recognition. They get their trophy. Do you guys, after you finish a game, do you guys stand up and read every name of the credits and applaud?
No, but I do read some names, and we've actually watched some behind the scenes stuff on games. I sometimes like to read about people that made the games.
I watch behind the scenes stuff from movies and stuff. Well, but that doesn't mean I'm like, hey, for this award show, give me more speeches of people thanking random people that I don't care about. No, I don't want that.
Bad take,
I want to
bro.
see. No, it's
bad
not.
Take. You're a creator.
No,
you're a creator.
Matter. Okay, exactly. If I were to win a Grammy, right, I wouldn't have the expectation to be like, nobody cares.
You wouldn't
that I'm gonna
have people you wanted to thank.
Yes, but I would be like, hey, I'll thank you in person, basically. I'm just going to be like, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for this award. No one cares about me being like, I want to thank my wife. Maya, my 2 girls are watching at home. I love you so much.
Yeah,
Daddy's coming home.
Guess what?
Yes,
you would.
You do that.
And also, you're
show.
saying nobody cares. Those people care.
No.
So
Listen
someone cares.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't need 2 to 5 minutes of something. It's like, go up there, or accept your awards, say thank you, get down, move the show on. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the point. You get 4 people that go up there. You need to give every person equal time to just say, hey, thank you.
They need to not hog the mic, because the same thing happens. The long-winded dude, this happens at the Oscars all the time, goes on for 2 minutes, and then they start playing the music, and then the other guys are like, I also want to thank my wife, whatever. It's like, no, that's on the person. They should have been like, hey, game plan, we just go through. You already know that's what the case is going to be. They're not going to give you much time because people don't care. That's not what people are watching. People are not watching to see acceptance speeches. That's the thing.
I was genuinely bothered every time they were rushed off.
Well,
you can ask Josh. I kept commenting on it the whole time. I thought it was super rude.
Hey, it's show business.
I feel like they deserve their moment to thank the people.
They got their moment. They got an award.
Yeah, but
they don't need.
We don't need to sit. Your
we don't need to sit
on
trash.
We don't need
trash take, bro.
Hey, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Seriously, do you watch an award show to see the speeches or to see who wins?
No, that wasn't the question.
No.
We're not. I really wished we had more speeches.
For their sake, not for mine. For theirs.
They're getting the award. They're getting the award. They can go thank whoever they want off stage.
If people
you got the award, you were acknowledged. Hey, everyone stood up and clapped for you. Say thank you.
If you can't sit through someone being able to have their moment and thank the people they want, then that's a you problem.
No. Did they have no time to do it, or did they get a time on stage?
It wasn't
that time is really short.
Yeah.
Okay,
I swear.
30 seconds to a minute. That's enough time to see. Thank you so much for this award. I appreciate it. Let's go on to the next thing. You don't need more than a minute to say thanks.
Well, and it was 2 seconds.
You don't.
They handed them the reward, and then there was music.
And I'm telling you, that's the reason. The reason they're doing this partly is because of what happened last year with Christopher Judge and how he went for 10 minutes on his speech. So part of that is that. But the other thing too is there's entertainment value. The fact that no one watches the Oscars or the Grammys or the Golden Globes because of that aspect of it.
I don't think it's because of that, though.
But it's not an either or is the thing. There you're not restricted by we have to fill this slot and we can't go past this because the nightly news comes on. You're on YouTube. You can take however long you want.
That doesn't matter. But there's an element. They're still going to have people that are showrunners, and so whoever's running the show, they've got people in that are saying, okay, we've got to move on to the next thing. That's how it works. When you're creating something, for entertainment. It doesn't matter if there's no end in sight. We have no time limit.
Here's the
that
thing.
doesn't matter because they're still trying to make a product that people are going to want to be entertained and watch and keep people on streams. And so the reason there's not, you guys might be in, I really think you guys are in the minority.
Well, we're just good people.
To be like, hey man, I want more of this guy talking and thanking people that I don't know
It's
of.
30 more seconds.
I'm just
of
saying.
him just saying, hey, guess what?
I'm
Thanks.
just
I
saying.
appreciate this. My studio. Good job. You guys worked hard.
They've got people in their ears that are saying, we got to move
we
on.
understand
This
that.
Is, hey,
But
But
think
here's the thing.
about-
Here's the thing. You don't need, this is one thing that Game Awards doesn't usually do. It's all trailers. So you can, okay, we're taking a break, trailer, then winner. You don't need stupid bits like the Oscars does, right? Oh, I come out and the Muppet, like Gonzo was there.
Yeah.
And this one, and it was like, no, cut it. No one cares. Show me another trailer. Give people 5 more seconds.
Yeah, but I think you guys are in the minority. I think there's some people that were pretty excited to see Gonzo and less excited to see Travis Barker say thank you to his mother.
Travis Barker, the drummer.
Yes. The game developer. Say thank you to his mother for helping him make, Half-Baked 7.
Oh,
It's just...
that was boo.
What? I'm just saying, like, the fact you guys are like, give us more time for speeches.
It's
We're not
for them.
saying
Give
that.
them
Oh
more
my
time.
gosh.
You're saying that.
It's
we
not
want
like-
more time for speeches.
For them.
And I kept saying
We're
it.
saying
On
allow
their
them
behalf.
10 more seconds.
Yes.
That's
Well,
all
if you
we're
allow
saying.
them 10 more seconds, then you have to allow everyone 10 more seconds.
That's
The
So
thing
then you
is,
have to
too,
allow the
like-
next person 30 more
that's a
seconds.
total of 15
And no one
minutes.
takes 10 more seconds.
There's-
They always take 30 to
But there's
40.
so many people working on those games
it
that
doesn't
why
matter.
can't they thank the people that are going to go completely unrecognized and nobody knows they exist?
Because no one
Which
cares.
sucks.
It's not, no, they care. The
Yeah,
people that
they
made the
care.
game
They
that
can
worked on it care.
Well, do you know, they can say thank you and quickly. And they can also
do you
say,
have no idea what acknowledgement means to people?
and you can say, hey, I really appreciate what you did. This is for you. You're a part of this. That's all you have to do. It's personal. Like you don't have to be like, oh, I said your name on. It's not even national TV. It's on YouTube. I said your name on the
So
internet.
it's a wider reach. Wider reach.
Yeah,
then,
they could
actually.
also tweet out a thank you, and people retweet it. So it's not necessary. And it's not
It's
why
not necessary for you, but it
it's
is for
not
them.
why people are going to watch the show.
Well, no, it's
And
not
they're
why they're going to watch the show.
No,
they're
but
making a program
but-
so people watch it.
But the purpose of the show is to recognize
No,
the
it's
people
not.
that yes,
It's
it's
not.
called
It's
the
not.
Game Awards,
Right.
bro.
Right, but they're not doing it.
It's not.
No.
it's
Do you know
not.
why? No.
Oh,
because
okay.
they want views and they get sponsors and they get money through this. And it's not. Yes, there's this whole idea of like, hey, we wanted this community to grow and stuff, but they're making a product that's entertaining. They want people to continue to talk about
Of course.
the Game Awards. And I'm sorry, but there's nobody that next year is going to be like, man, do you know when that one guy came up? The only time people talk about an acceptance speech is when like Will Smith slaps somebody or the guy comes up and is like, oh, I want to thank Bill Clinton. Like the stuff that's outrageous. No one goes up and says, I can't wait to watch next year because the guy that made
But that's
that's not the point.
of it.
what I'm saying is they're trying to make a thing that's entertainment that people are going to want to watch. If you're telling me that they don't care about the views that they're
Oh,
getting.
no, of course they do.
Absolutely. That's
Of
the
course they
number
do.
one thing they care about.
Well-
because the reason they do it is because they're like, hey, we can offer you, these game companies, this exposure. So many people watch this. That's what they're doing. They're getting money, the revenue from it, all this kind of stuff. It's not about, and they may say, oh, well, it's about acknowledging. That's what the award is. It's not, we have to now give you your minute and a half to say thank you. People don't care about that.
Well, you've got 2 people who watch the Game Awards every year sitting right here. And we're telling you that if they had longer acceptance speeches, we would watch it.
So you want less trailers and more speeches.
No.
And that's not what we're
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. Make the show longer. You literally have no time restriction.
You do, though.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. You watch it on YouTube, skip to what you want. Most people are just watching a reaction anyway. Did you watch the live show or did you watch a reaction of
because
people
I didn't
watching
have
the videos?
time.
But so you just watch the reaction, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can't like they're trying to make a product. No one wants more speeches. No one wants longer speeches. And to be like, well, they have not. They still have time constraints. That's the reason they have someone that's running the show. And there's a reason why they say, hey, we're not. You just think it's a arbitrary thing that's like, we don't want to give them time. No, they know that people don't want to watch that stuff. So that's the thing that gets cut. It's a natural thing. You guys are in the minority. And so
I'm saying people need to be better. That's all I'm saying.
Why they're like, hey, 30 seconds of speech. Let's get to let's get to what people want to watch.
Here's the thing, though. There's a problem with people's attention spans anyway. It's the reason why people like TikTok videos over long form media.
Well, that's right.
So,
but that's what I'm saying.
So I'm just saying people's brains are mush. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
But no one wants, besides you two, no one wants the longer speeches of saying thanks to people that we don't even know. I wish Corey was here. He'd probably be a go against me, or Mick, because I feel like I'm outnumbered here because you two live in the same house.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
We disagree on plenty of things.
Anyways, that'll do it for the Game Awards. And the lack of speeches that there were. Let us know in the comments, what side do you land on? Do you want more speeches at the Game Awards or the Oscars, or do you want more trailers?
Hey, we're not Oscars. We're not talking about Oscars. We're talking about the Game Awards.
Do you want a steak, or do you want just like fluffy?
Do you want to think about others, or do you want to just think about
yourself?
yourself?
Do you want to give people the opportunity to express their gratitude?
No, I don't.
It's up to you.
That's not what I want.
You decide.
I voted for them to win. I voted for whoever won. I voted for Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom. They got their Game Award, and I was like, good for you. Now on to the next thing. I want to see who else wins. That's how it works. We're going to move on. I've lost what was next that we were going to talk about.
We watched a movie.
Oh, yeah. You guys
or did you have more news you want to talk about?
Well, I can get to more news later, but you guys watched a movie. I don't know what movie you watched. I forgot which one it was, but what movie did you guys watch?
We watched Studio Ghibli's new movie, The Boy and the Heron, on...
Was that one in the Fathom
Thursday.
events?
We watched on Thursday.
What? No.
Well, that wasn't the Fathom event thing?
Box office, number one at the box office this weekend.
Oh,
so
how was it?
Get wrecked, Marvels.
The Marvels isn't in
Take that,
theaters
Disney.
anymore. Godzilla -1. I thought it wasn't. Marvels was out because they didn't say it's the lowest box office.
It still is. They're just not reporting on the numbers anymore. Anyway, yeah. So it's the latest Studio Ghibli movie. Go ahead. What's your review?
Loved it. It was great. I don't think it was it's definitely not my number one, but it's pretty high up there for me. So the story was good. I think Josh had some things he didn't like about the story.
This is the one that has like Christian Bale and
Robert Pattinson is the Heron, which he's really good. Josh didn't even know it was him. And then
he's an animal. He's a heron. A red heron?
Well, kind of. He's like a bird magical person.
Like Tuxedo Mask.
But it's really good. And the music is amazing. I've been listening to the soundtrack a bunch. And then obviously the art, like the hand painted backgrounds and everything are just really pretty. So it was really good.
Yeah, I think it's probably not one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies, but it is really good. I think for me it was just it's a weird, if you've seen in a Studio Ghibli movie, you know they're weird, right? There's aspects to it that you're always like, this is kind of strange. But what this movie does really well, I think it just builds kind of the mystery and sets up the world really well, where you're just kind of like wondering kind of what you're in for. And so I was completely bought into the story he was telling. Like Crystal said, the animation is amazing. It just looks beautiful. And then the music is awesome. I think for me, it just fell a little short on delivering like an emotional punch.
You need a longer speech from the main character.
Yeah, so I could feel something, you know? So I would have just wanted, I was 100% ready to cry, you know? And I didn't quite get there.
I hate when movies do that. When you're like, Soul did that. The Pixar movie. I was like, I want to feel something, but you didn't earn this tear. Sorry.
I feel like there were definitely still
No, it
feelings
was still good
in the movie.
but I was just like, I just needed that extra
Yeah.
push to be like, oh, that was really good and landed. But I mean, yeah, it's still a really good movie. If you like the Studio Ghibli movies, I would definitely recommend seeing it.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Do you have a score? 10 out of 10 for Crystal.
10 out of 10. I mean, I loved it.
Corey just threw his chair across the.
He doesn't.
Well,
He
that's the
doesn't
thing.
listen
It's
back.
like if I really love something, I love it. I mean, there wasn't anything I didn't like about it. Like, I honestly really enjoyed it. Like I said, I keep listening to the soundtrack, and I usually shuffle my music because I don't like to listen to things in order. And I keep purposely listening to it in order because then you can, like, you know, in your mind kind of like see the movie playing out. And it's just, it's also good. I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out.
Nice. Steelbook?
Sure.
I think for me, it's just solid 8.
Nice.
Yeah, really good. All the performances are good. We watched it dubbed, so. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the dubbed versions of Studio Ghibli movies are always good. They do a good job. So yeah, that was good.
Nice. Well, that'll do it for that review. And now we're back to some news. There's a rumor, so take this with a massive grain of salt. The rumor is Mandalorian Season 4 is going to be made into a movie and not a season on Disney+. It's just a rumor. Some people are saying that's not true. Other people are running with it, saying it is true, that there's that talks about doing that. What do you guys prefer? Would you guys want to see a Season 4, traditional, whatever it is, 6 to 8 episodes? Or do you want to have Season 4 be a movie, condensed into a movie, which then I would assume would set up going into either Ahsoka Season 2 or Dave Filoni's movie?
I'd rather have a show.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't really like things to change, and I like that it's been in a show format so long. So I feel like I would think it was weird that all of a sudden it's a movie. I don't. As long as they weren't like, I don't know. I feel a little conflicted about the last season, to be honest.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
But I love the first 2 seasons.
Because I feel like Season 3 had some really good moments and then had some stuff that I was like, that was dumb. Like the Lizzo Jack Black episode. I was like, I know what you're trying to do, but it seemed...
I liked some stuff in that episode, though, still. I just thought all the stuff with those 2 was just annoying.
And I was like,
it was
maybe
weird.
if you cut that kind of stuff out, you can have a 2.5 hour movie that's concise and kind of just gets to the point, better quality than those moments in Mando Season 3. But Josh, what do you think? Would you?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have it a movie as long as it's an 8-hour movie.
Okay.
That's the only way. Big screen, but it's got to be 8 hours.
So then you would rather have a show.
I would. I like more time. I do agree that. So I think this last season, I would agree there was some. I don't want to call it filler, but
Oddly placed, I feel like.
Oddly placed things, because everything else in that storyline I enjoyed, like the whole like noir detective side of things, but it was just like Jack Black and Lizzo. What are you guys doing here?
Not only that, but also Doc Brown.
Yeah.
It's like you picked one episode to put 3 people that just, I don't know. It caught me off guard.
So
Pulled me out of it.
But on the other 2 seasons, I enjoyed every single episode. It was like, there wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I wish we could have condensed this and gotten to the point quicker. You know what I mean? I enjoy the serial aspect of it.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, we're going on an adventure. We're doing a bounty. I enjoy that aspect of
I feel like we
Mandalorian.
both generally still enjoy filler episodes for Star Wars too.
Especially for Mandalorian, because it feels like it's just almost like a live action Saturday morning cartoon of this is our adventure of the week. This is what we're doing. And I enjoy that kind of like almost more like poppy, like Saturday morning cartoon type of storyline.
Yeah.
So I think I would still want it to be a series. I think we definitely need movies back, but I'm willing to wait for Filoni's movie or anything that comes after that. I'd rather still have it be a show.
Yeah, I don't care either way. But I probably would want it to be a movie, just because I do agree. I feel like season 3 had some really good episodes it started with, and then it was like, okay, we're going back to kind of just 15 to 20 minutes of meh to them get like something. And I'm like, if you have a movie and you're like, you have a start and an end, hey, this is the story we want to tell in this movie. I feel like the quality can be better because some of the stuff, like shooting on locations, much better, like all that kind of stuff. I just feel like you could do it. And I want to get back to a theater and watch a Star Wars movie with other fans. At some point, it gets to the point where you're just like, okay, well, 32-minute episode of Mando, watching at home. I'd rather sit down and watch a 2-hour Star Wars movie. Next thing we're going to move on to, breaking news from like 8 days ago. Talking about DC stuff here and the wonderful job that James Gunn is doing with the new DC universe. Sean Gunn has been cast as Maxwell Lord in the DCU. So if you don't know who Maxwell Lord is, he's the guy that Pedro Pascal played in Wonder Woman 84. Now, this is, again, no surprise that Sean Gunn is going to be in Superman Legacy.
Wait, is this Kirk?
Yes.
I love Kirk.
Kirk is he's
Gilmore
in
Girls?
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, he's the worst.
He's actually a great character in that show, but okay.
But the whole thing that people are reacting to is that James Gunn was like, actors that play voice characters like in this universe, they're not going to be playing other characters, right? That's one of the first thing he said. Like, an actor that does the voices here will play this actor. So Sean Gunn is, he's Calendar Man because he was in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
He's Weasel, also in the Suicide Squad. He's Weasel in
The
Creature
animated
Commandos,
show,
and now he's playing
Maxwell
Lord. So people are like, you're just getting your buddies. Like he got the Green Lantern, whatever the guy is. What's that guy's name? The guy from Castle.
Fillion.
Is that character that popular to be in another movie?
Maxwell Lord?
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same character from. It's the same character from the comics, but it's not like continuing from Wonder Woman 84.
I'm not familiar with
He's doing
him.
his own story, but it just does seem like you're just getting all your buddies in these films.
But is that like kind of a random character to be?
No, I saw someone post about like, oh, I think I know what kind of storyline he's going to tell. And it's kind of, he's just going to be introduced, like setting up for future films. But I don't know. It just seems like you got rid of Henry Cavill to then bring over all these characters that you're like, what are you doing? Like, it just seems like a giant mess. And the fan base, of course, people that are against James Gunn or don't like his stuff are like, attacking it. And then the people that are defending James Gunn are like, no, well, you're taking his words out of context. I'm like, no, he keeps saying stuff.
Well, he replied to a guy specifically on Twitter and was like, what I said was, in most cases.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing just replying to dudes on Twitter?
Well, have you seen the other thing about this? So it came out in an article a couple months ago that Warner Brothers people have been creating fake accounts to argue on Twitter, and like that they would go back and forth. So people went back and saw like all the people that James Gunn is responding to are all recent created accounts that have 0 posts, or 1 post, and and 0 followers. So they're like, this is ridiculous. Like, he's responding, and they're like, it's really convenient that certain things he responds to are like,
how does he pick out this one random dude on Twitter
that has no followers? And then, so one of the things he commented on, ended up, people started saying that it was James Gunn. And they went in and looked at some of the responses, and they're like, he didn't change his handle or whatever. And then they were like, once people started saying that, the account got deleted and the comments got deleted, but people took screenshots. They're like, James Gunn is arguing with himself. It's just kind of crazy. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous that this is what's going on. It's just nuts. I don't like the idea of some of these characters. And I just think they're throwing a bunch of characters in the Superman Legacy movie because I feel like Warner Brothers is bleeding money. So they're like, hey, we have to make the biggest movie ever in case it doesn't work out. We went out with a bang, or like it has to work. Because you've got Hawk Girl in this. You've got Guy Gardner. You've got, Crypto, Elastic Man, Mr. Fantastic, The Authority. The other thing is apparently Grace Randolph is playing a character.
What?
That was the other thing that the rumor
Shut
is
up.
that she's been for a while. She was like doing all these things against James Gunn, and then she stopped all of a sudden. And they're like, she's been rumored to be cast in as like a gossip person, like playing herself basically. But like I can't remember what the character's name is, like Cat something or something like rather. But
Cat
anyways, it's crazy. Like there's so much stuff. And I just think it's nuts.
I mean, at this point, like, I love DC, but I'm not excited for any of the movies. And
Batman.
Hawk Girl is one, except for the Batman. That I'm excited for. But like, Hawk Girl is one of my favorite Justice League characters.
Yeah.
And I'm not excited for that movie, even though she's in it.
Did you see Zachary Levi? They asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, it must be nice to be related to the guy that runs the place."
Well, that's
like,
what was crazy was for months he was like defending James Gunn and doing all that stuff. Like, I'm just so excited for what they're doing. And then he had that interview, and they asked him, like, "Oh, do you think you'll play a different character?" They're like, "It's rumored that Jason Momoa is now going to be playing Lobo. Would you be able to play another character?" And he's like, or Sean Gunn. He's like, "Well," he's like, I guess that only happens if you're the brother of the guy who runs DC. I was like, "Ooh, yeah." First time I agree with something Zachary Levi said.
I gotta say, if I were like in charge of DC, or I wouldn't put you in any of my projects. Just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's crazy though. The other thing that just seems nuts to me is there was a clip from Aquaman.
That clip looks great.
A new TV spot for Aquaman, and it looks absolutely atrocious. I don't know if you saw it, Crystal, but it's so Orm, who's the actor's name? Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
So he plays Aquaman's brother, obviously, and in this clip is he like goes to fight Black Manta, and he gets punched in the face, and he flies across the screen.
He
slides on the ground to where Aquaman is, and he's going, oh, like it's like a cartoon.
It's like very.
And then Aquaman looks up and he goes, "No one hits my brother except me." It's so bad. It's so bad. I am this close. You know what?
I am not here for rage. I'm here for revenge. Am I talking to you?
Oh, there we go.
Because this whole universe is attached to me.
It's happening.
Worlds are colliding. You're just getting upset. Serenity now! It was a setup! A setup, I tell you! And you brought it! You've all screwed me again!
Oh, Chris is.
This is Jonah's getting upset.
Gotcha.
This is sorry, it's a little rant. It's been long overdue, but this is driving me nuts. I feel like for years, right, we had Marvel doing their whole thing, their whole action comedy, whatever, a joke every 45 seconds.
Which some people like.
Which some people like.
Fine.
That's great. That's great. Whatever you like, if that's your cup of tea, that's great. But man, there's so many movies that were like that. And DC was doing something different, saying like, hey, that's great. Action comedies, if that's what you want to do, that's great. But there's a little more serious. There's a little more Greek mythology. This is more epic storytelling, more gritty, darker. We got Man of Steel, we got BVS, and people constantly complained and being like, well, it has to be more like Marvel. It has to be more. Where are all the jokes? Why is it so dark? And now what we've gotten is this trash that no one is excited about. Aquaman is a complete joke. No one cares about. The movie's going to bomb. It's just ridiculous. All these characters have been destroyed. James Gunn is now taking over the universe, and he's going in that same direction. If you like Star-Lord doing a dance-off to beat the villain at the end of a movie, that's fine. That's your thing. That's great. But I didn't like that stuff. And I like the darker stuff. And then so many people complain. Okay, if you don't like Man of Steel, if you don't like BVS, if you don't like the darker stuff, the Zack Snyder, the slow-mo, then don't watch it. But don't try to go and complain. And so many critics, so many YouTubers were like, oh, DC should be more like Marvel. No, it shouldn't have. We need to have differences. And the reality is now everyone doesn't like Marvel movies. No one likes superhero movies. Everyone's tired of it. But now DC tried to copy that. They did this whole thing to be like, oh, it's too dark. Let's get Joss Whedon in here to reshoot Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let's make it more like Marvel. It didn't work. No one wanted to see that. You got rid of all your fans. You alienated all the people that were passionate about your movies to go and try to get Marvel fans to come to your movies. No Marvel fans came to your movies because they didn't like them. It's ridiculous. And you destroyed your whole fan base to capitulate to what these critics and other DC haters were saying, and you've just completely destroyed your brand. It's absolutely insane. It's so dumb, and I'm angry, and I'm tired of it, and I'm depressed, and it's stupid, and I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to put on Man of Steel, and I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to put on BVS, I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to put on Zack Snyder's Justice League
16
and
hours,
watch
bro.
that, and then I'm going to cry that we're not going to get the end of it.
Except for the Batman.
The Batman's great. I'm excited for it. But Warner Brothers is probably going to be like, no, that's too dark. Let's just do what James Gunn wants to do and get rid of Matt
That
Reeves,
would
which
be
is
ridiculous.
stupid.
I feel like that movie did super well, didn't it?
Not super well, but better than what their other movies have been doing. 700 and something million is what it made, I think.
Budget was really small though. Anyway. Yeah, James Gunn sucks. I don't know what to tell you, bro. He also had a quote about, Cammy putting a bunch
Cameo
of people
porn.
cameo. Yeah, he's like,
I'm like, that's what you've done in your movies.
Yeah. According to him, there needs to be a purpose for every character that shows up in this movie. So he's got like roster of 20 characters that are going to be on Superman Legacy, Superman's first movie with the new character. So it'll be interesting to see
If they all have a purpose.
if they all have a purpose for the story or if it's literally just what he's like complaining about.
He doesn't know what he's doing. And that's the thing. He's in over his skis. He took this whole aspect. It's
in
a term,
over his
guys.
head, over his skis.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure it's a term. We'll look it up later. But yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. He already, although I will say someone brought this up because I was like, why would you announce your whole slate when you had movies coming out and then cause those to bomb because you're like, none of this is happening. And someone made a video and I was watching and they were like, maybe he did it on purpose because now all these movies have bombed. So if Superman Legacy comes out and makes 600 million, that's 3 times or 4 times what all the other ones have made. So then he can be like, look we're going in the right direction. I was like, it might make sense. That way you cut everyone else out.
People would
like,
fall for that?
Yes, 100%. I mean, people are already falling for whatever. Like anytime he does a casting or says anything, they're like, that's the greatest Superman ever. It's going to be, it's insanity.
It's going to be funny when he casts his wife as Supergirl.
He's not going to.
It'd be pretty funny.
He can't really do that.
Why not? He's freaking boss.
Did he cast Blue Beetle?
No.
He hasn't said yet. He keeps going back and forth of like,
No, he didn't originally cast. That character was already in there
okay.
before.
We just watched that the other day, finally. And I was actually bummed and I didn't love the movie, but I liked him a lot as Blue Beetle.
He's good.
He's really good.
And the stuff the emotional aspect worked with his dad.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that didn't work
His family
was the
drove me a
stupid
little
grandma.
crazy.
I'm sorry for saying stupid grandma.
I actually was a little confused as to why she was what bothered you so much. I mean, I think it got a little out of hand, but I was like, of everything in there.
Are you kidding me?
I thought
when
George
you're like,
Lopez was super annoying.
No, but I can understand the crazy conspiracy uncle that has stuff. I
That's
can't
you.
understand.
That's he was
I
playing
can't
you.
understand a Mexican grandma
I
that
can.
can then grab a machine gun and be like, yes,
No,
I'm a revolutionary. Let's go.
Yeah.
And able to work technology and they're able to fly this alien ship. It's insanity that it went over the top to be like, let's go, mijito. It's just crazy. I was like, this is dumb. This is too much.
Anyway.
It went too far.
My point was that I really liked the Blue Beetle, so it was actually disappointing, even though I didn't love the movie, that he's might not continue on.
And the suit looked awesome.
Yeah.
It looked
The
really
other
cool.
thing I
really
hated
cool.
too was the music. I'm like, I get it. They're a Mexican family, but you don't have to hit me every like 10 seconds with like a Mexican techno or Mexican ranchero or something. You know, like I get it. You know, there were some jokes that only Mexicans got, like the chapulín and that kind of stuff.
I was dying.
That was good. But when it was like trying to be like, let's really hit them over that. Let's hit these white people over the head with the fact that this is a Mexican family. I was like, yeah.
like when she kept calling him Sanchez. I was like, okay.
And that didn't work for me. At the end, the guy's been working for her, and then he's like, oh, he was treated badly by the white villain. And so he's like, you know, it was too over the top. Those things were just too heavy handed.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it where it's not heavy handed, and they just didn't. It's, The grandma, though. I can't believe you. I can't. Let me know what you think. If you've seen Blue Beetle, was the grandma too much?
I think
Let us know in the comments. The grandma was too much.
Did you have anything to talk about?
The last thing I'll say.
Another rant?
No, it's not a rant. But so many people, even James Gunn has been saying like, because you know people have been hashtagging sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix because Zack Snyder's now at Netflix, and James Gunn like 7 months ago, again commented to one of the accounts that was talking about it, and he's like, that's such a silly hashtag. Like, I'm not even gonna. Zack Snyder doesn't even want anything to do with that. Like, he's happy where he's at. Oh, we talked to him. It's such a dumb hashtag, whatever. Well,
Zack Snyder's like, yeah, I'd like to get paid to make movies.
Here's the thing. The guy from Netflix, in an article, like, brought it up. They asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, we've seen the hashtag. And he's like, that would be crazy. He talked about, like, that they've seen it. So people were like, hey, Netflix is paying attention. Why can't we keep doing this? Well, they asked Zack Snyder yesterday because an article came out at Variety saying that he had moved on, that, you know, and he mentioned he was never quoted, but it was said that he would be interested in, like, the only way he'd come back to DC was to do Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Well, they asked Zack Snyder. So people were like, see, it's over. He's moved on. Whatever. They asked him in an interview.
Has anyone ever really moved on?
Yesterday. No, we will never move on. They asked him yesterday, like, if Netflix had the rights to the DC characters, would you want to finish? And he was like, oh, absolutely. If they had the rights and we could do something, I'd love to finish. So to me, and right now Warner Brothers is selling everything. They just sold all DC to Tubi. They just sold a bunch of stuff to Netflix. All the DC movies are on Netflix now.
Yeah.
So you can go and watch Man of Steel and all these other movies. So I'm like, they're selling rights. And the Zaslav was like, yeah, everything's up for sale. They're selling everything. So why wouldn't you be like, hey, we want the rights to his arc.
Right.
He's already written it out. He could just be like, hey, these next two movies, Darkseid, these actors. Of course, it's getting Henry Cavill. I don't think Henry Cavill would come back to do Superman because it's the dark Superman. It's the arc where he's the bad guy. And then in the last movie, he's becomes Superman again.
Yeah.
Why would he not want to do that?
Because he didn't like that aspect of it. Because he wanted to be like Zack Snyder was telling a story. Hey, this is where you become Superman. The anti-life equation happens. Batman has to deal with you as evil. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of that arc, it was like, now we go into Man of Steel 2 and you are the fully fledged Superman. Now you wouldn't get to that point. You would just get to there wouldn't be a movie after that. It would be like the Justice League 2 would be the nightmare where Superman's bad. Mm-hmm. And then the third one would be him being the good Superman. So I don't know if Henry Cavill wants to come back to that, but you'd have to get Ben Affleck back and all that kind of stuff.
All right, just deep fake it.
But
it'd be cool though to see Batman having plans to take all the Justice League people out though.
Well, that's the thing. The story is so good. To me, it's like, I would just want to see that. And I feel like Netflix could pull it off with how good Rebel Moon looks. Like, just as far as like, the CGI from the trailers. I'm like, you could do the Nightmare movie because it's more of a Mad Max movie. It's not these massive set pieces. And then the third movie or the second movie, which would be, you know, Justice League 3, like you can film them back to back like you did with Rebel Moon. I think it's possible. And then you can just put it to bed and it's over.
I thought we already put this to bed.
But no, he said there's still hope. He said there's still hope. So I'm going to say
There's always hope.
anything to feed the masses.
Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix.
I told you, he's a mastermind. He leaves out these little morsels for you guys.
Why not?
It's like in that show, Hope Can't Be Squashed.
Gilmore
The
Girls.
dream one.
Sandman.
Sandman, yeah.
But anyway,
Hope
so that
continues
happened.
on.
And last thing, apparently it came out that whole Ezra Miller stuff
Was
all fake. It was lies.
What?
Yes, the Variety put out this story, and then the cops. It came out today because of a bunch of stuff. They're like, there were never any witnesses of it, and that's why in Hawaii they never pursued any charges because the witnesses were unreliable. And so Variety put out all this stuff, and then was like, well, turns out it wasn't true.
Dang,
That's
crazy.
So is he suing?
I don't know what he's doing, but it came like I saw it yesterday where a guy was like, they're like basically the cops are just coming out and saying like, yeah, we stopped he never got any of the, like they stopped pursuing anything because of like unreliable witnesses. They didn't have
Or he paid 'em off.
anything.
No,
It's
I was
just
going
like,
to say,
that's
or it's a
nuts.
cover up.
That sounds like a cover up.
It seems like a lot of people lie.
Well, yeah, but both ways people
Yeah,
could be
but-
lying. How do we know the truth?
Kind of crazy. I'm just saying. A lot of people jumped on like this guy's crazy.
Oh yeah, I guess
And then-
it's the easy thing to do.
But anyways, that's it for all my. Do you got something?
No,
Looks like you
I
got
was just
something.
going to mention that I don't know if you saw that Disney said they're going to stop reporting the gross numbers for the Marvels. Because
They're so bad?
because they're so bad, which was funny because I think Dan Merle was talking about it and he's like, this isn't how this works. He's like, if this were like broke $1 billion, you would be reporting it every day. And it wouldn't, you'd like plaster it, put it on shows. But now because it's doing so bad, you're like, yeah, we're just going to stop reporting the numbers on it. It's like it's like the kid that just takes his ball and walks home. 'Cause he doesn't want to play the game anymore because he's getting his butt kicked. He's like, well, I'm losing now. So yeah, this game isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, because before it was always.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. Speaking of Marvel, Deadline exclusive. This came out today. With plenty of time until its February 14th, 2025 theatrical release. Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World has hired Matthew Orton to pen additional scenes and material. Orton will work on material that will be shot in additional photography, which will take place spring-summer of 2024, we understand. So this whole thing, like, this is the rumor came out a couple months ago that they did, because this movie got pushed back, that they did a screening and that it was terrible. And so they're rewriting a bunch of stuff, which is insane to me. And a lot of people are like, oh, Captain America, Brave New World, it has Anthony Mackie, so people aren't going to like it because, you know. And I'm like, no, just make a good movie. Like, the fact that they've made a setup that doesn't work and, they have Harrison Ford in this movie, and he even talked about it. I can't remember what. I think it was on the Conan podcast or something like that. And he was like, oh, like...
You listen to the Conan podcast?
Yeah, Conan Needs a Friend.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
We'll talk about it later.
But Zach Braff was on it.
That was a good one.
But it's just like, to me, what is Marvel doing? They're losing a ton of money. I feel like their stories aren't connecting with people.
Hashtag sell Marvel to Netflix.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except for Black Panther. Those movies are great.
But it's just kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's a wild world where...
Studio Ghibli's top of the box office, baby.
No, but it's true.
First time ever, I think.
And Godzilla minus one. And
But
next
that's the
year,
thing.
there's no DC movies. There's only one Marvel movie that comes out next year.
That's insane. And Aquaman is going to be garbage and bomb.
That's going to bomb.
We live... Spielberg was right. Scorsese was right. Superhero fatigue. The superhero movie is going to go as the way of the...
Dinosaur.
the
Silent film.
No, not... What's
The talkies.
Western.
Oh.
John Wayne was in every
That's
movie.
true. He's the
that was
biggest
Gunn.
movie star.
Crazy.
Then he had to play Genghis Khan in a movie. Well, Jamuka.
That's right.
What movie is that?
I don't know, but it's great. I gotta watch some John Wayne. After Man of Steel, BVS, and
You
Zack
gonna
Snyder
throw
Justice
some
League, I'm
John
gonna
Wayne on?
throw some John Wayne on. True Grit.
The Duke.
Anything else? Is there any other news? I think that's it. Right?
No.
Diablo has their holiday event starts this week. So if you play Diablo,
Diablo didn't win any awards.
which was sad, disappointed.
But
I wish we had more thank yous.
that's true. I would have loved to see the Diablo devs go up
Yeah.
and
Say thanks. Thanks to Susie and Sarah and
You're the
Lily.
worst.
That's gonna do it for the episode this week. I'm not sure we're gonna do an episode next week to Christmas. It's the holidays, family
Wait.
time.
It's not Christmas next.
Yeah.
I know, but we're getting close to the Christmas season. Times are getting strange. You got commitments. You got Christmas parties
Times
you're
are
going to.
getting strange, huh?
You got
when are you
last
going to
minute
talk
Christmas
about
shopping.
Rebel Moon, though? Doesn't that come out next week?
Oh, the 20. Yeah.
21st, I
No,
think.
no. There's. I
You
thought they
don't
moved it up.
even know.
I have no idea. It's not even like top 10.
17th.
That's
No,
like
maybe
3
that-
days- that's
maybe
like
that's
3
in
days from now.
theaters.
I think it's 20 something.
21st probably. That looks great. I can't wait. We'll be talking about that. So for sure, there's going to be an episode next week. We'll see. You just follow us on Facebook, Instagram.
We'll let you know.
Wherever you get podcasts. This episode won't be on YouTube. Sorry, Corey's not around. He does all the YouTube stuff. So, but we will be back next week. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.